there lived a young monk named Haku. Haku was known for his laziness, while the other monks rose early to meditate, tend to the gardens, and study the ancient texts. Haku would often linger in bed, staring at the ceiling, dreaming of a life without effort. He believed that enlightenment would come to him naturally, without the need for hard work. One day, the monastery's wise master, sensing Haku's growing apathy, called him to the edge of a nearby river. The river was wide and swift, its waters glistening under the morning sun. The master handed Haku an empty bucket and said, "Fill this bucket with water from the river." Haku sighed, thinking the task was pointless, but he obeyed. He dipped the bucket into the river, but as he pulled it out, the water slipped through his fingers, leaving only a few drops behind. He tried again and again, but each time, the bucket remained nearly empty. Frustrated, Haku turned to the master. "The water flows too quickly. I cannot hold it. This task is impossible." The master smiled gently and said, "Watch the river, Haku." "What do you see?" Haku looked at the flowing water, confused. "I see water moving swiftly, never stopping." The master nodded. "The river never stops, yet it is always full. It does not cling to its water, nor does it resist the flow. It simply is. Laziness, Haku, is like trying to hold the water in your hands. You resist the flow of life, hoping to avoid effort, but in doing so, you hold nothing. True fulfillment comes from moving with the river, not against it." Haku frowned, still not understanding. "But how does this help me? I am tired of trying and failing." The master picked up a leaf and placed it on the water's surface. The leaf floated effortlessly, carried by the current. The leaf does not struggle, yet it moves forward. It does not resist, yet it is never stagnant. Laziness is not the absence of effort, Haku. It is the resistance to the natural flow of life. When you stop resisting, you will find that effort becomes effortless. Haku stood silently, watching the leaf drift downstream. For the first time, he realized that his laziness was not a lack of energy, but a fear of the effort required to live fully. He had been clinging to comfort, avoiding the flow of life, and in doing so, he had been left empty, like the bucket. From that day on, Haku began to rise with the sun, not because he forced himself to, but because he no longer resisted the natural rhythm of life. He tended the gardens, studied the texts, and meditated with the same ease as the leaf on the river. He discovered that when he stopped clinging to laziness, effort became a joyful part of the flow. And so, Haku learned that enlightenment is not found in avoiding life's currents, but in moving with them, one mindful step at a time. Moral of the story: laziness is not the absence of action, but the resistance to the natural flow of life. When we stop resisting and embrace the present moment, effort becomes effortless and fulfillment follows.